Even after selling 100,000 books and publishing several novels, I still worry about people laughing at me. I know if you stumbled upon this, you probably feel something similar and know you're not crazy. My name is Rick Betancourt. I love helping creators like yourself succeed in their writing careers and helping you move forward. If I had to guess, you're writing something, but you're hesitating. You're hesitating on pushing forward with it. You're hesitating in publishing it because there's a voice inside of you where that voice is saying, or that you're not good enough, that they're going to laugh at what I'm publishing. What do I have to say? And I can relate to that. Let me be honest, is I have a new series coming out, the Rise of the Normal series, which I have hesitated on and sat on for literally years. And part of the reason is I still am scared. It's a relatively new area for me. It's a new genre, if you would. I've dabbled into fantasy. This is a little bit more full on fantasy. I haven't published anything in over 6 years, yet I still earn royalties on a monthly basis, time in and time out, from my backlog of books. So I know that people like what I do and value that writing. I've been asked to speak at conferences. I'm speaking at a conference in a couple of weeks for other authors and publishers. So, but yet there's still the doubt. So that doubt it doesn't go away. Even it gets better. Let me tell you, it does get better. But I'm sure even Stephen King and Nora Roberts, for instance, have doubts about themselves, and that's part of the nature of being an artist and a creator. And that's what makes us genuine, and that vulnerability, in bringing that vulnerability out on the page and for others, is a real eye opener for your reader. So I encourage you to do it anyway, to push forward. There's what helped me, one tip that has helped me is to take limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough, for instance, or uh, my writing sucks. That's a shitty belief. It's a limiting belief. It doesn't help you. And flip it on its head. I'm a kick-ass writer. I'm good. I'm good at what I do. And there's a bit of affirmation woo-woo-ness of that, but it helps. There's a podcast, it's called A Changed Mind by David Bayer. And one thing that he adds to that totally resonates with me is, yes, you can take a limiting belief, I'm not good enough, to I am good enough, but then back that up with evidence. There's evidence out there that you can find that you are good enough. People, like I just said, I don't think I'm good enough. Well, spin it on its head. I am good enough, and find evidence. People are paying me to show up at a conference to speak on a topic. People buy my books and pay money for my books. I've sold over 100,000 copies of books. This is evidence to that doubtful naysayer in your head. And it could be, as simple as people say I write well. Maybe you haven't published yet, or maybe you haven't, you're just starting out. And my teacher values, I got an A on that essay. and I didn't use AI to help me write it either. So there's just back up that evidence to help you feel good about it. Um, and then another tip that I find is when I worry about what will they think of me, I spin that on its head and think, well, who might this help? Rather than being afraid of going to speaking at a conference, for instance, or giving a talk on a podcast, for instance, rather than being afraid of it, and not to say that goes away, because like I said, I'm still nervous about it, but it's good. But rather than worrying about what will they think of me, think about, well, who might this help? What I have to say could help somebody. There's always somebody who is, and I don't want to say beneath you, or is a step or few behind you, that you've done more than somebody else. And maybe it's having written a full length uh, novella. Maybe you have done that, or a full length essay, and somebody else hasn't. There's somebody out there that can benefit from your work, from your advice. Similar to, like this YouTube channel, there are thousands of other people with thousands of other more followers and have sold hundreds of thousands of books and more than I have. But there are people who haven't, and people who haven't published anything yet. And I can help with that. And, so think of that. Someone needs to hear this. Someone needs to see this. Someone needs to read my books. And we're not here to be perfect. That's another thing that I have found has held me back. And we're here to be real, to be who we are, and to connect. But knowing that there are thousands of other writers out there who are making a living selling books on Amazon. So that's another. You may have a limiting belief about it's hard to break into writing, and or to get an agent, or to even self-publish. It's hard. You can think that and have that limiting belief, fact or not. Leave that aside, but flipping that into a more empowering belief is, it's possible to get published. It's easy even to publish. Flip that on its head. And what evidence do you have of that? Well, there are hundreds of thousands of writers who probably are not as good as you are, that are making money, and good money in a lot of instances, selling their books on Amazon and elsewhere. So focus on that. Don't focus on the naysayer in your head. Um, I'm recently in the midst of this book, The Artist's Way. It's an old 90s book, and I'm on week 4 of it. But there's one exercise about writing to your younger self, and I did that yesterday in my morning pages, and writing to my 8-year-old self, who was very self-conscious and very bad at anything related to school, be it math, be it writing, be it, I just was not a good student early on. No, it wasn't until college that I really came into myself, if you would. But writing a letter to your 8-year-old self is freeing in and of itself. It's, giving that encouragement, and telling myself, you'll get there. You're right now you're struggling with your spectrum math book, third grade math book, but you're gonna be doing really well. So think of that. And then in reverse, there's also another exercise in there where your 80-year-old self is talking to your current self. Really very powerful. Some good stuff. So um, couple of just one tip on taking action. One thing I tell writers when I'm giving a workshop or trying to encourage them is to that there's plenty of time later to get it right. Plenty of time later to get your writing right. That's called the editing process. But instead, first you have to get it written. So get it written. Don't worry about getting it right. Not right now. Like I said, there's plenty of time for that. Get it written, do it, take action, get it done. So I'd like for you to take action and to put a line or two from your work in progress into the comments below and be daring. Do it. Go for it. Get it written. Write it down. Take care.